Time. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
The following is a presentation of Learfield. Welcome to Duck Insider.
Our whole athletic department, there's a level of expectations of success.
Throw, catch, touchdown, Oregon.
He can run and slam.
He's back out for a three. Left wing is good.
Deep to right field at the warning track. See ya.
Really excited that we get to rep our Ducks and hopefully come back to Eugene with some championships.
At the buzzer.
We have so many teams that are excelling right now, and it's really fun to be a part of.
Give it to me, baby. My house. I'm taking it there.
Huge win for Oregon.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, here's Joey Mack.
Hi, everybody. Obviously not Joey Mack. It's Terry Johns in for Joey. We'll hear from Joey a little bit later in the show from Los Angeles. He's with baseball as they have a 3-game set against UCLA down in Los Angeles. Jackie Robinson Stadium. I always love that. I've never been in there. I know in basketball we had a bus driver that was lost, and I think we drove by it. Oh, there it is.
You're a baseball player,
couldn't find Pauley Pavilion. Yeah, I've never been there, but that's a great name, obviously, in history, no doubt about that. But that's where Joey is, and we're here. We got a lot of things. We'll talk about softball. We got some football interviews left over from some players. You even get to hear from Noah Sewell. I think his debut talking to the media. I don't think we couldn't get him before, even on the pregame show. We couldn't get him, so maybe that's good. But something to look forward to in the fall. So we'll hear from some players coming up. And also Melissa Lombardi and Allie Bunker from softball as they get ready for a 3-game set, also down at UCLA. And those are, I think, are televised. But Pro Day for football today, and that's going on as we speak. And who's participating? One surprise, if you saw it yesterday, those of you on social media, pretty cool. But Kayvon Thibodeau, of course, Verone McKinley III, DeAnthony Thomas, Devin Allen. Devin Allen is coming back, trying to get back into football. Hopefully, if you read an article, there's a nice article on social media where he wants to win a gold medal in the World's Championships here at the New Hayward Field, and then go in the fall. If somebody take him in camp. With that kind of speed, you got to think somebody's going to at least say, hey, yeah, we'd like to take a look at you. I would imagine. Yeah, exactly. We want to stretch the field. Go. We've got some go routes for you, and he's got good hands, obviously. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if you went to Atlanta with Mariota?
Yeah.
They'd get back together.
That'd be great.
That would be kind of cool.
I'd watch that.
Yeah. That'd be kind of great. All right, who else? Anthony Brown Jr., of course, C.J. Verdell, Devin Williams, Johnny Johnson III, George Moore IV, Mikael Wright, Jordan Happel, and Nick Pickett, all out there today. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I would like to go see. Have you ever gone to those? You've probably gone and shot some before, haven't you?
Yeah. They're entertaining.
Yeah, Scotty Phillips, of course, is the voice that you're hearing.
You watch those guys run around. They're top level.
Yeah. I remember seeing video of Panay Sewell running the 40, coming right at you. Somebody shot. I don't know, maybe you shot that, but oh my gosh!
I want to see that.
That big dude coming at you. Could you imagine being a cornerback at 180, 90 pounds? He's pulling and coming right at you.
You go low.
Yeah, just go. I think I'd run out of bounds, but then you wouldn't be playing at that level, obviously. But I bet some of them have kind of thought of that. I do not. This is going to hurt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even with the pads.
Oh, yeah, even with pads. By the way, since I call women's basketball, I've gotten emails, texts from many of you about all the happenings this week with 3 players going on the transfer portal. First of all, I want to say congratulations, Niara Sabali. Going to the WNBA and putting her name into the draft April 11th. That's coming up. Some mock drafts I've seen, she's picked as high as number 4. She is that good. I know the injuries, and just wish her well. Niara's one of the best people, as well as her sister Satu, a couple of my favorites. They've gone through the program. the different personalities. I've talked about that. Satu a little more outgoing. Niar's a little more quiet, but on the floor, she's good. She's very, very talented. I wish her all the best. And the 3 that went into the portal right after, I just wish they would have waited maybe a day and let Niara have her accolades from everybody, but not on the same day. And wish them well. I know there's been some, that, it's this and that. And, for whatever reason they're leaving, we'll find out if it's a mistake. They'll find out. But for whatever the reasons are, just wish them well, Duck fans. They're good people. The 3, they're all good people and from good families, and just hope they go and get what they're looking for.
Yep,
now the transfer portal, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. The program is fine. I know some of you too have asked me, okay, what about the program? It is fine. It's fine. This is normal. Even before the portal, you go back to 2016 when Sabrina and Ruthie came in, Lydia Giomi. There were seven blue chip athletes that came in. They ended up with 3 of them at the end. The rest had transferred out. That was before the portal, and they were just fine. They went to a Final Four, probably going to have another one, and hopefully we know bringing home the hardware from that one. But they're fine. They're fine. Coach Graves and the staff, they know what they're doing. Not that they wouldn't like to keep those players, that's and develop them, keep developing, and hopefully next year. But there's a pretty good class coming in. I don't know if you watched the McDonald's All-American game. Chance Gray and Grace Van Sluten, they're going to be just fine. Jenna Asai and Kennedy Basham also coming in. And Jenna Asai going to join Gray and Van Sluten in the Jordan Brand game coming up as well. And just terrific. So everything is fine. Wish the players well, and we all do. All right, the schedule. Full schedule coming up. Of course, baseball, 3 games starting tonight. Joey Mack will have all the action for you on the radio. 6 o'clock first pitch, and so at 5:45 with the pregame show around the Oregon Sports Network. Softball, 3 games against UCLA. 7 o'clock tonight against number 3, UCLA. Yeah, number 3. So we'll see. Got their work cut out for them here coming up as number 3 UCLA, and this is the first of 15 of 16 games for the softball team against top 25. But I think we'll hear Melissa Lombardi say, that's the Pac-12. That's what we do. And that's, I totally agree with her. It is. You got a lot of top 25 teams in the Pac-12. So softball, 3 games as well. Full weekend for baseball. Elsewhere, track and field at 2:30 today. The Hayward Premier, and also it starts at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Men's tennis against number 13 USC coming up here in just less than a half hour over at the Tennis Center at 1:30. Portland State at 6:30, and then on Sunday at noon also against UCLA here in Eugene. Women's tennis, they are on the road against at Utah. 12:30 probably action. We may get a result here before we get off. We'll have to check that. They're in Salt Lake City. It started at 12:30 against Utah in Salt Lake City, and then on Sunday at 9 a.m. I think it is Sunday against Colorado in Boulder. Women's lacrosse at Cal at 5 p.m. today, and there is a live stream on the Cal website, I understand, on that one. And then they're at Stanford at noon on Sunday, and that's Pac-12 Bay Area. So you can, if you have Pac-12 networks on your TV, then you can go online and pull that one up and watch that as well. Beach volleyball against Colorado, that was at noon today, so they may have a result there. This is in Boise. They're in Boise all weekend, or at least today and tomorrow. And then that's against Colorado. Then they take on Boise State at 5 p.m. today. And then tomorrow morning at 11 in Boise, they take on the Huskies. And that's beach volleyball. Acro and tumbling at Quinnipiac at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday. That's in Hamden, Connecticut. They're back there. Women's golf, not until Monday through Wednesday. They'll be down in Napa, California, in wine country at the Silverado Showdown. So golf, they're pretty good. Number 2, Mr. Radley's got them going pretty good there. Yeah, they're really good, and they're fun to watch. And the Pac-12 Championship's coming up, what is it, April 15th, I think it is, to the 18th, if I'm not mistaken, at Eugene Country Club for women's golf. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully have some nice weather for it, and we can get out and enjoy it. All right, we need to move along here. We got a lot to get to. Coming up next, we'll hear from some players. Jeffrey Bassa, football players, that is. Jeffrey Bassa, DJ Johnson, Noah Sewell, and Jackson Leduc. I love that name. Jerry and Jerry are going to come up with a nickname for him, I got a feeling. They're going to, yeah. We'll look forward to hearing from them. A little bit later, hear from Melissa Lombardi and Allie Bunker on softball, and Joey Mack going to join us on the Zoom, I think, from Los Angeles a little bit later. So let's move along. We'll take a break, come back, and talk some spring football after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hey, Jan. Say, is now a good time for a new Toyota?
You bet it is. Now through April 4th is the perfect time to shop for a RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma, Corolla, and more. Imagine yourself in a RAV4. Where would you go first?
Skinny Al's Barbecue.
I'm imagining you inviting me.
Let your imagination run wild at your participating Toyota dealer. Ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary.
After 2 years of construction, my wife and I finally moved into our dream home. So when a bathtub fixture broke, causing major water damage, I was glad we had the home insurance protection we needed. How do you know your home is protected? Talk to a Country Financial rep like me, Nick Simon. We can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Then if something happens to your home, you won't have any surprises. Need the right coverage for your home but not sure where to start? Visit TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
These are the sounds of a dinner that almost didn't happen. A dinner now served, thanks to people like you. Due to COVID-19, 17 million more Americans may face hunger. Feeding America is helping our neighbors in need. And if you're able, you can too. Donations are being accepted at feedingamerica.org/coronavirus. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Terry Johns in for Joey Mack. He's with baseball. And again, coming up tonight with first pitch at 6 o'clock, 5:45. Pregame show, baseball at UCLA. And softball is at UCLA as well. And that's on Pac-12 Network coming up tonight. All right, spring football continuing in, practice number 4, I believe it was yesterday. Let's hear from some players. We're going to start here, first of all, with keeping him at linebacker. Remember, he was a safety. They moved him to linebacker, and I can tell from Coach Lanning and Coach Lupoy, the defensive coordinator, they like that speed. And he's going to stay at linebacker, it sounds like. Let's hear from Jeffrey Bassa.
What's it feel like to be out here again?
You know, it feels great to be finally back out here after the whole winter program and the whole, just lifting and running and stuff like that. It was just great to be out here with the new team and putting the pads on again, just going at it.
Anything feel different, like big picture with the new staff and how they're doing? We don't have to get into schematics, but just maybe the feel, the energy, the culture kind of stuff?
For sure. I would have to say more energetic. Everybody's out there flying around having fun and stuff like that, because Coach Land is, he's a young coach, so he can relate to us a little bit more. So, he's flying around out there with us, and all the defensive coaches, they're running with us too, you know what I mean? Like, if we make plays, they're jumping up and down and stuff like that. So
how does that youthful energy from Lanning come across most? Is it just, like you said, running around and stuff like that? Are there any other examples that maybe stand out from how he carries himself?
I would really have to say, he likes to come up and teach by himself, because he's, with his defense last year, him just giving us tips and little tricks like this, and just learning on another part of defensively, morally, I would have to say learning, the small details about defense, certain formations, if they do this, they're going to do this, so just the little things we're learning from him.
I think last time we spoke with you, we thought you might be moving back to defensive back. Can you talk about the decision to stay at linebacker and kind of how you're embracing that?
Really, really, I would have to say, it was kind of just a thing that the new coaching staff seen me at. When they first came in, they obviously didn't know if I could play safety or linebacker. But going into workouts and going through walkthroughs and stuff like that, I kind of just made my way into the linebacker room again. So it's been pretty good.
You feel like a veteran now?
Yeah, for sure. I would for sure have to say I feel like more of a veteran in the room, and just picking up. I'm still picking up and learning things from Noah still. So just to improve our game.
How much are you learning that's new, and how much carryover is there?
I would have to say just it's really a lot of the same stuff, but just new coaches every year using different terminology and stuff like that. So just picking up the pieces and putting them together.
How do you guys use spring practice to build a culture with all the new guys?
Like you're talking about like the newcomers that just came in and stuff like that. So I would have to say just getting the right people on the bus, really, and then just teaching the veterans in the room, just teaching the young guys how to how we do things here, how we attack things, and just slowly teaching them, like giving them extra time, meeting with them after certain things that we do in the facility, outside of the facility, bonding with them so they can feel welcomed into the program.
And do you think they're catching on to that chemistry quickly?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Did you approach winter workouts differently in terms of, did you feel like you needed to gain weight? Did you feel comfortable with where you're at before? I'm just curious, like, you came in at safety, you had to switch kind of in a pinch, now you're full-time linebacker. Was there a concerted effort to add weight?
No, not really. I would really have to say, in the middle of the season last year, I think it was about like 210. I kind of just wanted to put on probably 7 pounds, but right now at this moment, I'm still trying to gain weight a little bit. So because I know that I'm gonna for sure be staying in the box, so just still trying to put on about 10 more pounds or something.
Are you playing one of the two positions more than the other? The coach was saying there wants to be positional versatility, but are you focusing on one of the two inside spots?
Right now, everybody in the room is working on both, so we can, if they motion to a certain formation, that it can be totally flipped. So everybody's just learning the whole linebacker room.
There you go, Jeffrey Bassa, likely linebacker, it sounds like. And I interviewed him last fall for the pregame show, the 2-hour pregame show that we do, and always get a couple of players and try and let you get to know them. And just outstanding young man. And with him, they want that, as I mentioned, that Coach Lanning wants that speed at linebacker, Coach Lapoy. And if you watch Georgia's, go on YouTube and watch their defense. You don't know where those linebackers are coming, who's coming, and where they're coming from. So it could be really good. It could be really good. And I think the Ducks have some pretty good linebackers to do it with right now. All right, let's hear from one of them that sometimes might be a linebacker or DN, could be a tight end, DJ Johnson.
DJ, how does it feel transferring into Coach Lupoy's defense now?
It feels good. Coach Lupoy is a great coach. He's been getting with us a lot.
And does Coach Lanning, apart from the technical skills, how does he help you, get back to a stage? Because he just came off a national championship. Does he give you tips on how he won that championship?
Well, honestly, yes. And at the same time, it's more of a focus on us and our current team and just getting the brotherhood right. That's like the main focus for us.
You guys use spring practice to, build that culture and that camaraderie?
Yeah, for sure. For spring practice, outside of practice, we all try to hang out as much as we can.
What position are you playing? Are you playing multiple spots? I'm curious.
Wherever they need me to play right now. Right now, I've been on defense a little bit more, so that's what the focus is.
Is there, is the door open for you to playing offense again?
Or everything's always a possibility.
Yeah, you know that better than everybody else. I guess, but with this new staff, and kind of, do you feel like your role shifts defensively in terms of what you're doing defensively? Does it feel different than what the previous staff had you playing positionally?
I don't think. I mean, it's defense, outside backer D and stuff like that on defense. As far as what I'm asked to do is just play how I play.
Is it with the hand down and you standing mostly?
I mean, for the most part, he gives a good amount of freedom, so we pretty much get to choose depending on the situation. He puts a good amount of confidence in us to let us make those decisions.
Do you have any difference in the wintertime of attacking your off-season workouts with maybe knowing you're going to play more defense next year?
No, every off-season attack aggressive as possible.
There you go, DJ Johnson, the Swiss Army knife. And remember back at Ohio State, the play he made at the end of the game at the first down, and on both sides of the ball. And just you love players like that. That I just want to win. Whatever you need me to do, I will go do it. Coach's dream. Another coach's dream because he's really, really, really freaking good. Noah Sewell, linebacker. The first time he's talked to the media since he's been here. Let's hear from Noah.
How new do things feel? How different do things feel? And how much carryover is for what you guys have been doing the last couple of years?
There's a lot of new things we're putting in right now. It's just a matter of fact of just dialing down and getting to the books and really learning it.
You guys had a lot of turnover at your position group last year. Obviously, some guys might still be banged up a little bit, what have you. But, with Jeff playing there, with Jackson back, with you, you guys feel like you've got some pretty good depth to build on and a pretty good group at the inside linebacker spot. And then the new guys that showed up the other day.
The new guys really add a little taste to it, actually. We're always competing, always trying to better each other, competing day in and day out in the weight room and the film room. Just competing always.
It seemed like you made an effort last year to be a more vocal guy on the field. What's the next step for you, whether it's as a leader, as a player? What's the next step for you in your development this year?
I wouldn't say I'm more of a vocal leader. Yeah. I like leading by my actions. That's why I haven't talked to you guys in the past couple of years. I just like to show off what I can do by my actions, because talking to you so much, but your actions will. Yeah.
How's it been for you transferring into Coach Lupoy's defense?
It's a little different, but nothing I can't, handle. It's just a matter of adjusting and getting used to it.
What was it like watching the national championship game? Georgia's linebackers obviously were really impressive, and knowing kind of Coach Lanning was
just seeing them boys running around, I'm like, wow, we really about to get this coach, and we about to. I'm not gonna say anything. Nope, we're gonna cut it off right there. But yeah, next question.
Has it lived up to expectations? I mean, seeing him in practice,
it's above and beyond.
Yeah, there you go. Good to see him excited, isn't it? Yeah, he's just one of those guys. You're up in the press box, and there's always that one guy that you notice above everybody else. He's that guy. Just whoa, and you look at it's Noah. Okay, of course. All right, Jackson Leduc. He mentioned Jackson being back, who's been kind of dinged up since he's been here, but a big-time talent. Another linebacker, Jackson Leduc.
Overall, how was spring camp been going? You guys were off for a little bit, now you're back.
It feels
first couple days back.
Yeah, it feels really good to be back. Like Lanning said, we didn't have the juice coming back the first day that he thought we would. Today, I think we really brought the juice back. We had guys cracking around and flying to the ball. Defense had a great day. Offense had some good shots too. So it was a lot better coming back today than it was Monday.
Just talked to Braden Swinson. He said that this new defense can hopefully optimize some players and kind of bring them. Do you find the same way? Do you find that this defense kind of suits you a little bit better than it has in the past, or?
I mean, it's hard to tell. How it's gonna. It's a really good defense. Obviously, they did great things at Georgia, where Coach Lanning was, Alabama, Jacksonville, all those places that the coaches were at previously. So I mean, we know where it's coming from is a really good place, and I mean, just the way guys are able to, not think as much and fly around. I think it's going to be really good.
So this is a revisit, Jackson, but just obviously we were talking to you last, and it was preparing to play in the bowl game. Was it COVID?
Yep.
How did you find out, and how mentally? I'm guessing that's probably as much. Given the way the year went, where it looked like you're out, you finally come back, you're playing well, and you're looking forward to that opportunity. How'd you find out? How'd that go down?
I started getting really sick. Had to go to the doctor. Ended up having COVID and pneumonia and all kinds of stuff. So I was pretty sick, and it hurt. Especially coming back. That was going to be my fourth game, I want to say. Coming back from the injury as quick as I could. I was really looking forward to that game. So it hurt. But it hurt mostly not being there with the guys and being able to celebrate what we did earn. So yeah.
When did you feel back to normal? How long did that take?
It didn't take very long. Once I, got over the cough and all that kind of stuff, I felt good and got the weight back within a couple weeks, and now I feel 100% best I felt.
In learning this defense, how would you describe the differences with the money in the MAC positions compared to the middle and weak side?
It's a little bit different. When we switch over from nickel to base. But we got guys interchanging and playing money MAC, guys playing both, and we're doing a really good job picking up everything right now.
Can you give us the Cliffs Notes? What's the differences? Or 30,000 feet view, what's the difference between the two positions?
I would say one is maybe a little bit bigger guy. One's more of a blitzing guy. One's more of a run stopper. One guy's going to play man a little bit more, but yeah.
Kind of what we're used to from like in a
Yeah, exactly. It's not much different.
What about watching the national championship game? Obviously, Georgia's linebackers were a force in that game. What was it? What was your perspective on watching that game, watching those guys, and then knowing you were going to be playing under that coach and in that system?
I think just for everybody, it's really exciting knowing that it's a guy that can one, develop players, but, you know, he also a very good recruiter for bringing in new guys. So I think it's really exciting to see how they exceeded and what's to come for us.
Jackson, the linebackers is a group that most guys are returning. How has that kind of helped as you transition to a new defense and welcome in some new guys with Devin Harrison?
Yeah, I'd say it helps a lot. We got a bunch of guys that know what college football is like, know how to learn, know how to pick up, know how to take notes and everything, watch film. And so I think it's helped a lot with the newcomers coming in. We've been able to get with them, teach them, because we're getting a lot thrown on us right now. And so I think it's a lot better for the coach as well, because we're able to be kind of a secondary coach to them.
So Stephen McGee transitioned from running back to wide receiver. Can you just speak to the experience he gives the linebackers group? You know, such a versatile player, such a shifty player. You know, playing inside, outside. Like, can you speak to the experience that gives the linebackers?
I mean, yeah, he's a shifty dude. So he brings a different. He's not the power back that sometimes we get used to when we had CJ and all those guys. But yeah, he's really good. And he gives us a really good look.
Sorry if you've been asked this, but just talk about Tosh and, you know, his scheme, and also Dan Lannon, and what you think of those guys so far.
It's amazing. It's probably the best you can get from around the country, and it's exciting to play in for sure.
So for you specifically, is Lanning your positional coach?
No, Jake Long's our positional coach, helping out. LaPoy helps us out, and then Lanning will come in and help us out. So it's a team effort getting us ready and being able to quarterback the defense and everything from there.
So what's kind of had you excited about this particular system?
I just think how fast it plays. I mean, just watching the national championship, you see guys flying around. You see the linebackers getting unleashed, blitzing, covering backs, you know, doing all sorts of stuff. So I think the speed and power that it brings is really exciting.
What constitutes a successful spring camp for you and the linebackers?
I would say just like a fall camp, just being ready to play a game, being able to throw as much adversity at us during practice, so when we get to a game it's much easier than practice. Lanning always says that practice should be harder than a game. So I think that's something that they're trying to throw at us, working the red zone, working all that, is make it hard here, so when we get into a game, we've done it 100 times, right?
Can you compare this year's spring camp to like last year's? Like, any differences you've seen? Anything that surprised you?
I wouldn't say there's very many differences. You know, just like it was last year, we got to learn new stuff. We had to learn new stuff last year. So just getting all that ready and getting the guys ready, getting the injured guys back, getting freshmen in. You know, kind of the same stuff going on.
There you go, Jackson Leduc, inside linebacker. Good to hear from him, as he's been kind of injured for most of the time here, but good to be back. Good, big, good-looking dude there, isn't he? Yeah, absolutely. All right, here in the Country Financial Studio, the On Point Community Credit Union Duck Insider, Terry for Joey, and we'll turn to softball. Coach Lombardi coming up next after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics, because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
As my family continued to grow, I realized I'd have to replace my beloved Jeep with something that has, well, more seats. I'm Jason Hines, Country Financial Rep and father of 7. Whether you're upgrading from your sporty ride with no room for a car seat, or finally replacing your well-loved beater that still has a cassette player, you'll want the right protection for your new car. Work with a Country Financial Rep like me and get the protection you need at a price you can afford. Learn more at TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
You're listening to Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
It's time for today's STEM tip. Okay, you know recycling is important. No one wants plastic in the ocean. Here's a cool way to repurpose a plastic bottle. Build an awesome terrarium. Cut a large plastic bottle in half and fill the base with sand, pebbles, potting soil, and your favorite plant. I chose an African violet. Put the top of the bottle over your base and place it in the sun. Your plant will grow sealed in its own ecosystem. Fun, right? Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
Neil Armstrong waited 6 hours and 39 minutes to step onto the surface of the moon. Jackie Robinson waited 20 months to play his first game with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even DiCaprio had to wait 22 years to win an Oscar. You can wait until your destination. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back here to the Duck Insider Show, brought to you by On Point Community Credit Union, the Country Financial Studio. Terry for Joey. And let's hear from Melissa Lombardi, the softball head coaches. They have a 3-game set starting tonight at 7 against UCLA on Pac-12 Network.
Cal, to watch the series from home was difficult because I just want to be there with them, but totally trusted in this team and this coaching staff that they would find a way to get it done, which they did. I loved our fight. You could tell that there was no lose mentality. We were going to find a way to win game 2, game 3. Absolutely loved our crowd. Like, I cannot wait to be here and get to experience that personally for myself, because I still have yet to experience that. But I could hear our crowd roaring through the TV. I could hear the rumble of the stands. Just looked like it was an unbelievable atmosphere for a Pac-12 series.
Well, Missy, good to see that you're back, and it was nothing more than just a weekend of inconvenience, relatively speaking. If you could speak to, I realize you weren't there physically, but it seemed like also a weekend where not just the players on the field, but that Tara and Brooke in particular really were beyond their years and took part and filled some roles that were enormous. And you've spoken about how Paige and some players in your past, you thought they'd be coaches in the future. I know catchers and pitchers generally fill that role. What you saw from Tara and Brooke in that way, and I've probably seen it in past weekends, but it was just more present because we were there physically in that capacity.
Yeah, I feel like it confirmed or solidified what I already knew about them. But I think what they did with Coach Reagan and filling in my spot for me not to be able to be there, and the same composure you see them have on the mound or behind the plate, and to see them have that type of composure with working with Coach Reagan on calling the game, I'm not surprised. I'm not. I loved it. And that's what I really love about this team, is that it's just a total team effort. Everybody's so passionate and so bought in and doing whatever it's going to take for us to get a win. And you could just see our team, our coaches, everybody like elevate. So still like frustrating to watch sitting on my couch, but to be able to sit on my couch and go, you know what, these guys are good. Like, to me, it's not one person runs this. Like, if we're a well-oiled machine and one person is gone, that's fine. Somebody else steps in. And I think what you really got to see this past weekend is that we've been doing this all year. We haven't had our full roster all year. And so it just, unfortunately, it was my turn.
Coach, speaking to that, any ability to tell us who's going to be available this weekend? Who's still injured? Who's not going to be available?
I'm hoping, I still don't know yet. It's like we'll have a better idea right before the weekend, but we're really close with a couple of them. I think today and tomorrow are going to be big days for us. So, but that list is looking a lot better. I mean, we had, people that were sidelined, and they, we should be back on track. So just waiting to hear from a couple of them. Sinicki, you'll see back in the lineup for sure. Just still waiting on status on a couple others.
Yeah, I was going to follow on that, Missy. With Paige back in uniform on Sunday, I figured she was in a good spot. But with Tara, since she lost the cast the final 2 days, I know she's still guarding the hand, but when she comes back, will it be in a DP capacity first, or do you want her when she's back to be full go to where she can be behind the plate as well?
Yeah. Those are the things that we're still trying to figure out, is exactly what it'll be and what it'll look like. So, but that we are very close. Like, I know I kind of keep saying that, but we are real close. Those are the little details that we're trying to sort out. But can't wait to have her back, but just thrilled with what Val has done. I mean, behind the plate and how she's handled our pitchers and how she's handled herself at the plate. So to get Tara back and those two working together will be really big for us.
Coach, just kind of as an aside, did you forget to tell the team that they need 2 outs before they start their rallies? Because they did that one in the 6th inning with only 1 out.
I know. I guess I did. This to me is what's impressive. We're still figuring things out, and that's what you do all year as you go through these different series and figure things out. But the one thing that I know about this team is we are never, ever out of a ball game. And would we like to start things a little sooner, or maybe with no outs versus 2 outs? But these guys know how to put runs on the board, and they know how to do it late in the game. And I think that is a great quality for a team to have. Lots of times you're down and you just think, could easily go, well, we're out of this. This group never, ever thinks they're out of it. They expect to win every game, regardless of what it may look like.
Less specifically about UCLA, Missy, and more to kind of the entirety of the month ahead. I know you talked before about, like, you all want the Pac-12, the whole league, to be in the postseason. And right now, if it ended today, you all would be, that's for sure. You could argue statistically that it's either you, Florida, I think either LSU or Bama. Like, there's basically only 2 or 3 teams in the country right now who have schedules as daunting as what yours is in April. And you have 3 top 25s and 5 top 40s. How you appreciate the gravity of what that opportunity is without making more of it than, oh, this could be so daunting, you can be overwhelmed. You don't have a group that seems like overwhelmed in that spot, but to a young team, it would be. But you do have a mix like that. So how do you kind of enter this gauntlet that will be April, and what the message is beyond just the game to a game or a weekend to a weekend?
Honestly, I think this is typical of what we deal with every year in the Pac. It's like you go from one weekend to the next, like, it doesn't get easy. And I think over the years, this team has understood that. We don't really get caught up in the big picture. We really stay small and focus on one game at a time and go from there. So, but in order for us to do what we need to do, this is the type of schedule that we need to play and to win. To me, it's playing the schedule and getting the outcomes that we want that are going to allow us to compete for a Pac-12 championship. And on top of that, prepare us to deal with what's next in postseason. So I think our team just understands that this is what goes along with with the things that we want to accomplish. We've got to be able to handle an April, like what we have scheduled. We need to be able to handle it. And I'm confident in this team. I love what this team's doing right now. At times, have it looked a little ugly? Sure. At times it's looked pretty, for sure. But the most important thing is that we find a way to get it done. And that's what this team's been doing.
Coach, kind of segueing off of that a bit, but you talked last week about softball being a game of failures, and you have to be able to flush it when that happens. It couldn't have been a better epitome of that statement than the Friday game versus the rest of the weekend. But could you just, from being afar, what that was like, seeing the team? I mean, it's your team, but you weren't there physically to be able to tell them what to do. Could you just speak a little bit about what you saw and how you felt about them being able to do that?
I just think it was out of character for us. With this team, the one thing that I know is anytime we've challenged them this year, every time we challenge them, they always answer. They have a great response. I think what could be nerve-wracking for a coach is that if you have your team and you're struggling and you challenge them and they don't respond. And what comforts me is knowing that this team knows how to respond. And I just think as you go throughout the year, there's going to be some, bumps that we have. And to me, it's how quickly can you recover? We're not going to be flawless through the whole year. We're going to have some bumps. So how do we recover for those bumps and let that go and get ready for what's next? And I think that's what they've done a really good job of.
Then, Coach, kind of a two-part, but I was able to watch the games this weekend for UCLA, and Ferrarimo and Acevedo really, really good pitchers, Farimo particularly pitching up. So her rise ball, how do you keep the team so that they're not chasing that rise ball, getting the pitches they want? And then just more in general, what are the goals or challenges that you've given the team for this coming weekend? What are your expectations or things you'd like to see out of them?
I think when you're in the pack that your opportunities are small, and that when you get opportunity, whether it's on offense or defense, on the mound, you've got to be able to lock in, especially against a team like UCLA. They've got a great pitching staff. They've got a great lineup. They know how to play defense, but opportunities are going to show up for us. And it's what do we do with those opportunities? Because you're going to only get so many of them. And I think our team understands that. So it's about swinging at pitches in the zone and not allowing their staff to take us out of the zone. It's about making the plays on defense, I think, for both teams, and our pitchers giving us an opportunity to win. But I just think the opportunities are small. And that's how it is in the pack. That's how it's going to be in the postseason. And as you continue to go on. So it's understanding, knowing how to play and loving that, not going, oh, well, I only get one opportunity, let's go to compete. That's what the pack is all about, playing and competing at a high level. So I think this group's ready to go, and we're excited to get out there.
There you go, Melissa Lombardi and the Willamette Valley Cancer Institute coaches interview, brought to you by Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Fight like a duck with cancer care you can count on, and they do great stuff. Joey Mack from Los Angeles coming up next here on Duck Insider after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
Money isn't interested in the fact that you dream of going to Greece, and it doesn't pace at night wondering how you'll pay for braces 3 times. The point is, money without people is just money. Only people can use it to run the family ranch, buy their first house, or adopt a happy old dog. To us, the powerful thing about money isn't money at all. It's helping you harness the power of yours. On Point. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
This is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s, like go back to college, learn to skateboard. Whoa. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. At aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a free 3-minute chat with the friendly digital retirement coach, Avo, and receive personalized tips to help boost your savings. Start chatting with Avo today at aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Duck Insider, brought to you by On Point Community Credit Union. Terry Johns for Joey Mack here in the Country Financial Studio. And the magic of Zoom is Joey Mack. Was that a palm tree back behind? Is that just a picture? You're in your room. Okay, that's down in Los Angeles as the Duck baseball take a 3-game set starting tonight, 6 o'clock, 5:45. The pictures. What else is there? I can't. There's a
pool down there somewhere outside
there's a pool?
the sliding glass door, but, I haven't gotten to the pool yet.
Yeah.
Because,
right.
Me.
Yeah. Because you're working. You're working down there. You're getting ready. By the way, Jackie Robinson Stadium, we were talking about it earlier, and I have never been there. Tell us what it's like. Obviously a famous name.
Yeah, very famous name. I mean, one of the most prolific athletes in the history of UCLA, if not the most prolific athlete in the history of UCLA. It's not actually located on campus, and it holds about 1,800 people. Originally opened in 1981. It's not like it's not PK Park. I'll put it that way in terms of the way that it looks and the turf and the press box and everything else, but it plays like your stereotypical Southern California field. It's a little bit more dead and damp at night. Ball tends to fly during the day. Affects the way that you pitch a little bit. That's kind of the expectation. But Mark Wazikowski said the park plays true. So take that as you will. I think that a few things from what I remember there. One, the bathroom is really far away from where the broadcast location
That's important to know.
Very important. Two, it's actually just a really cool thing when you walk in. There's like a statue of Jackie Robinson, and you park below, and then you kind of walk up to the field a little bit. It's pretty cool. I remember the first time I went there, I was kind of like, "Oh, that's where we are right now." It was a cool deal.
Yeah. All right. For fans who it's still early in the season for baseball, but this team off to a pretty good start. Tell us about the Duck baseball. What are they like?
Yeah, I mean, the offense is next level good. That's kind of been the big turnaround. And, maybe the biggest thing to bring up is the long ball. I mean, you always talk about how the home run is the most exciting play in baseball. And it's really remarkable what Oregon has done offensively. Last year, they set the single season record for home runs as a team. They hit 56 in the 2021 campaign. Guys like Yovan, Matthews, Zavala. I mean, these guys that were hitting in the middle of the order that have been with Oregon a long time. Just hitting a bunch of taters, right? That's what they were doing. Well, that broke a record that was since 1974. In 1974, Oregon baseball hit 48 home runs. In 1973, Oregon baseball hit 46 home runs. And then in 1965, Oregon baseball hit 43 home runs. Those are the 4 seasons with the most home runs in the history of Oregon baseball. We're not even quite halfway through this season yet, about halfway through this season, and Oregon has already hit 41 home runs in the 2022 campaign. If the season stopped today, that would be the 5th most home runs in a single season in the history of Oregon baseball. They're on pace right now to hit 91.4 home runs during the 56-game regular season schedule. I don't think that hitting 100 home runs is out of the question for this team, especially if they go on a long postseason run. They play in the Pac-12 tournament. That's a new thing this year. I think that there is potential. You could see them hit the century mark in home runs. And Mark Wazikowski would tell you that has been the difference. And it's not just the approach. It's not just having good players. It's the physicality of the players. Daryl Hunter deserves a lot of credit for that. Former Oregon baseball pitcher. Now he works in pitching analytics and in strength and conditioning for Oregon baseball. He's the strength coach that deserves all the credit for, I think, the home runs. And it's Coach Martyr and the way that he approaches the plate discipline piece to it. There's a lot of reasons for this, but I just think that, man, that's what fans are seeing. And this weekend is probably the biggest test that Oregon's offense has had. They've got maybe 3 MLB pitchers in the rotation, UCLA does. And Mark Wazikowski, I actually just talked to him for the Toyota Coaches Corner for the 545 pregame show. And Waz actually said he thinks the best arm, albeit that he's a freshman, he thinks the best arm is pitching on Sunday against a guy named to be determined for Oregon. We'll find out. The Ducks, and this is a true strength on strength, Terry. Like this is maybe the best pitching staff in the conference against probably the best offensive team in the conference in the Ducks. This is a fun weekend ahead. Just
back to the homers for a moment. I feel like some people, you and I talked earlier, think maybe the homers are because the fence was moved in at PK Park a little bit. But you and I talking about it, that's not it.
No, it's not. And in fact, it really stuck out to me every time we brought up the fences with Mark Wazikowski. Hey, it's going to be more exciting. You're going to see some home runs. You're going to see more long balls. Waz would be like, yeah, but it's because this team can really hit. Like, we feel like this team can really hit. And that stuck out to me, that Mark Wazikowski was pretty insistent. Like, no, this isn't just because of the fences. Well, we're seeing that. So I've kind of been keeping an unofficial tab of how many home runs maybe have gone out this year that wouldn't have gone out last year. Jordan Brenner and I have both kind of been adding it up. And I think that I can count on like one hand. It's probably like 4 or 5 that maybe don't go out last year, but do go out this year. And it's not just that they moved in a little bit. The fence also got shorter, was about 8 feet high. Now it's about 6.5 feet. The reason they did that is Mark Wasikowski maybe wanted to see some robbed home runs. Like they wanted that kind of excitement of a defensive play in baseball. And that hasn't really happened much. We've seen 1 or 2 of those this year, but it is not the fact that Oregon is playing in a different dimensioned ballpark. It's that they're just creaming the ball. I really believe that you're maybe only talking about 3 to 5 home runs that don't go out last year that went out this year. This is because this team can really swing it.
Yeah, 331 batting average for this team. That is remarkable.
It is, and the fact that they've done it consistently now. I mean, Oregon ended the USC series among the national leaders in a bunch of statistical categories. They're now second in the nation in batting average. They got up to first in the nation in batting average at one point this week. Midweek games, things changed, and the Ducks actually did not hit very well on Wednesday, despite the fact that they won in 11 innings against San Francisco. But yeah, they're second in the nation in batting average. And then I look at slugging percentage a lot too. And the Ducks are sixth in both total hits and slugging percentage nationally. But then also, you think about the long ball, they're 11th in home runs, and that's really good. I mean, you're pacing yourself with, look, we all know that the ball tends to maybe fly a little bit more in a place like, say, Arizona in the month of February. The Ducks are doing that as one of the only northern United States teams that are in the top 25 of those categories. And I think that says a lot about what they're doing. They're 15th in runs per game. Obviously, that matters. It's the run differential, though, that you'd like to see Oregon maybe improve on a little bit. But I will also say that defensively, it's been pretty amazing to watch Oregon turn the double play. Ducks are actually 4th in double plays turned this year nationally. They've been really good turning the double play. And so you're searching for something in the starting rotation. The Ducks need someone to kind of grab the Bulls by the horn, but the defense has helped them out. They've got all of those pieces in place. They're in first place in the Pac-12, in large part because of the offense. But if they could get a good start from, say, R.J. Gordon, Isaac Aon, who's going to get the ball Friday and Saturday, then this team's elite.
All right, before we let you go real quickly, a 3-game set. So what do you want to see from the Ducks this weekend to get a sweep, hopefully?
Quick start. I think that they are really, really good in the starting rotation for UCLA. If you can get some runs against them early, give your pitching staff a lead, I think that's a big key for this team. It's really key in midweeks to try to get into the bullpen, but I think against this UCLA team, get out to a quick start. I think that would really help. And then, look, we don't walk guys. I asked Mark Wasikowski, and he said, just play good baseball, you're going to win, because the offense is really good. Don't walk guys, play catch defensively. That's how you beat UCLA.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the info, and look forward to hearing you and Jordan Brenner on the call. 5:45 tonight, pregame show, 6 o'clock, first pitch from Jackie Robinson Stadium, the Ducks and UCLA. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Terry.
All right, we'll be back to wrap things up here on Duck Insider after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
After 2 years of construction, my wife and I finally moved into our dream home. So when a bathtub fixture broke, causing major water damage, I was glad we had the home insurance protection we needed. How do you know your home is protected? Talk to a Country Financial rep like me, Nick Simon. We can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Then if something happens to your home, you won't have any surprises. Need the right coverage for your home but not sure where to start? Visit TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse? Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam, ran right into the side of the saloon. Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Terry Johns for Joey Mack. Good hearing from Joey. He needs to do that by the pool, though. I mean, when you're in, maybe when they go to Arizona, if he's going on that one, we'll see. I want to see it, but he'd be all leather. He's always fun to see all leathered up, especially football. He's got this stuff, the white nose and all those things. 6 o'clock tonight, first pitch, Jackie Robinson Stadium, 5:45 pregame, and 2 o'clock tomorrow at UCLA. I'm talking baseball, and then on noon on Sunday. Softball tonight, also down in Los Angeles, 7 o'clock first pitch tonight and tomorrow night, and then noon on Sunday. They're all listed as on Pac-12 Network. It doesn't really tell me whether it's Pac-12 Oregon, Pac-12 LA, whether it's the national. I'm not sure about that. Track and field, the Hayward Premier, 2:30 today. It should be just getting underway, right? Just underway. 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Men's tennis at 1:30 right now. They're taking on number 13 USC over at the Tennis Center. And Portland State tonight at 6:30, and UCLA on Sunday at noon. Women's tennis is at Utah, and they're in Salt Lake City, and that might be getting pretty close to getting over, if not at Colorado, 9 a.m. on Sunday. Lacrosse is at Cal at 5 o'clock tonight. There's a live stream on the Cal website. You can go to that. At Stanford at noon, that's Pac-12 Bay Area only. So if you, through your TV provider, you have Pac-12 Network, you can go online and watch that or whatever if you have a smart TV. Beach volleyball, Colorado, that should be over there in Boise. They take on Boise State later today. Washington tomorrow, Acro, and tumbling at Quinnipiac on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. back in Connecticut. So there you go. Go Ducks. A lot of things going on. And have a good weekend. A lot of things to do. So enjoy yourselves. Scotty, it's always fun. Thanks, buddy. Go Ducks.
Is that a faucet running?
That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're not too cool for me, and in return,